Welcome to September 2021. We're going to have a look at what's coming up for you this month. But remember that these are timeless readings, I guess, because they could be for you anytime. So if you've just stumbled upon it today, then it's for you. So we'll start with the base chakra as always. Woo! I think that's not for everyone. So this one is for everyone. What is being selfish? In what situations are you selfish? It's an interesting card. I remember having a conversation with a young mum, and she was talking about feeling guilty about having time to have a shower. And it's a bit like the old metaphor of putting the mask on the plane before you help others. As a new mum, you completely need to look after your own needs. That's not at the expense of your babies, but you need to make sure you look after your own needs. And that's the same for everything in life. If you're not well, if your cup's not full, then you're unable to help other people. And the other one in the base is, how do you ground yourself? Oh, look at that. Can you see how they're related? Grounding, if we're not looking after ourselves, we cannot be grounded. So being selfish. So I guess that with this one, it's, really think about, what does selfish mean to you? What does it look like? And is it okay to look after your own needs? And so your cup is full. So those things need to be done before you can help others. Okay. September. What do we need to know in September? Oh, look at those cards. They're just jumping everywhere, but I think it's this one. Do you trust men? Do you fear intimacy with a man? Now, this is not a gender-specific card in the sense that if you're a man or a woman, we can still have intimacy with men. And there are some wonderful men's groups out in the world, providing support for men, by men. So that intimacy that you can have with a man has often been seen on the football field or on a military field in the battles. But for a woman, this is more around the intimacy in a sexual sense, I guess. But also when we look at this selfish in a relationship sense, is someone being selfish in your relationship? Is there a fear of intimacy with somebody, And the way out of this is to focus on the grounding. It's an interesting pattern coming up for this month. So September, what do we need for September? So I will be doing these on the new and full moons as well as every month. Lots of cards for you today. What activities do you love to do? Make a list. What do you love to do? This is a really great card to start thinking positively. So you can see here there's some reflective cards and then there's some activity cards here. And again with this one, it might be, what activities do you love to do with the men in your life? What are the things you need to do that make you feel good with them? And the other one in the solar plexus. Oh, nice. What are your triggers for happiness? What are your triggers for sadness? So what things make you happy? What things upset you? And again, looking at this selfish card here, I'm just wondering whether some of you have got some conflict going on around selfishness with somebody with a masculine energy in your life, and whether it is actually being selfish for somebody. Is it okay for somebody to look after their own needs first? Because if the cup's not full, they can't then provide this intimacy. They can't then do the things you love with them. You can't have that happiness. You can't have that sadness. So this is quite an interesting, looking like a relationship sort of thing here. Now, this could be an intimate relationship or in a work setting. Obviously, you don't want to be intimate with your boss because that's just inappropriate. But thinking about that intimacy with people and going deep, I guess. Thinking about that. It's an interesting spread, this one. September. What else do we need to know in the heart here? So like I said, with these cards, you can journal them, you can pause the video at any point, you can just do some journaling, do some reflection, do one a day, do what works for you. And there's no prescription with this. What types of things do people say or do to make you feel loved? Oh, that's so beautiful. That's such a beautiful card. What do people say or do? And as you know, for many of you, we already know the love languages. And lots of people, have different needs around what love feels like. So people give me gifts. I don't feel loved because it's not my love language. But I'm wondering whether... I'm thinking, not sure where this is headed, but I think there's somebody in your life, either you or yourself, that is acting selfish or you're perceiving as being selfish. And it is a grounding thing that they're doing. It's helped them get back to themselves. But while they're doing this grounding, you can do what you love. Find what makes you happy. Avoid the things that don't make you happy. I mean, you do have to clean the toilet, but find the things that make you happy, and find the things, celebrate the things that make you feel loved. So while your person is doing what they need to do, or the situation that you're in, while they're doing that, they need to ground themselves, but you need to ground yourselves, and then focus on the things that you love and make you feel loved. And when they come out of this, what appears to be selfish, then you can go back into relationship, I guess, because they're no good to you if they're only a cup half full. So what can we do in our throat to help with this situation? It is a relationship one by the looks of it. What are some new activities you would like to try in your relationship? So this is, again, looking at these patterns here. What activities do you love? What triggers your happiness? What things that people do to make you feel loved? What would you like to try in your relationship? So your throat's asking you to communicate those things, keeping in mind that appears like there's a man who is working on some grounding, working on their own stuff. And in a loving relationship, we need to give each other space to do what we need to do to fill our own cups and make us feel good. That's a few too many cards. We'll just go again. September 2021. What vision do we need here? I think it's that one. How do you make decisions? What process do you use, and does it work for you? Some people are really good at decision making. They just, go and say, yep, that's it. Some people have a year where they say yes to everything. Some people sit and mull over it for weeks, months, years without making a decision. So there's that, I guess in a way that could be seen as selfish, to take such a long time to make a decision. So thinking about how you make decisions, what process do you use? Are you just on the spot make a decision, or do you contemplate, or do you do a pros and cons list? What sort of things do you do there? Right, we head to the crown. September 2021. What is the purpose of all life? Well, that's not going to be answered in 10 minutes, is it? What is the purpose of all life? We live in an extraordinary planet. It's absolutely beautiful, creative, wondrous, just the most exquisite thing that ever existed. And there is only one of them in the universe that we know of. Life exists here on Earth. And why we don't all walk around in wonder is beyond me, because it's just so beautiful and extraordinary. As it relates to this spread, it looks like thinking about the purpose of this selfishness. So we're thinking about how has this time helping you and whoever's in your life to to grow and develops. You know, if you've got this person who's being quite selfish, whether it's you or somebody else, they need to ground, you need to ground, but you also need to think about the things that make you feel love, things you love to do, make some decisions, or think about your process of decisions, because ultimately life is a growing experience. We all move through life learning and growing, you know. I remember my grandmother before she died said, yep, I'm coming back for another round, there's still so much to learn. So, you know, there's lots of great things to be said for the experience of living here on earth in the human body with the miracle that is life. These are the Tantric decks, so thinking about specifically intimate relationships. And this one, how do you feel about your relationship? Now, if you're not in a relationship with someone, this is about your relationship with yourself, or your relationship with that you don't have. How do you feel about that? So this could be either of those things. So how do you feel about your relationship? And if this spread is about your relationship here for you, it could be a work situation, but everything in life is about relationships, is relating, is, you know, that's, there is no job in the world where you don't have to communicate or relate to people in some way. If you think of one, let me know, because I've been trying to think of one, but in just about every area of life, we need to relate to others. So, and we're all doing our very, very best. All right, last card for September. There's too many, there's 3 there. Last card for September is, how do you nurture your physical body, the temple that houses your soul? What a beautiful card to end on, especially when we look at some of these other things that we've got going on here. So what do you love? Let's get grounded. What triggers happiness? What triggers sadness? What do people do or say to make you feel love? Lots of self-reflection on you and what brings you joy, what you'd like in your relationship, and maybe communicate that at another time with someone. And then, you know, how do you nurture your body? You know, if the purpose of all life is to experience the physical, the human experience, well, let's experience the whole thing. So I hope there's something in there that resonated for you this month. So this is for September. It looks like we're getting longer and longer each time we do these. So please let me know if you have any questions. I really love helping people through this, and it's just about being aware of who you are in the human experience and being kind to yourself. So for the month of September, let's be kind to ourselves and go with love.